Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tanya. This is my daughter Savannah, and in today's video I'm going to do a story time. I wanted to tell the story of how my husband proposed to me because it was very unique. I've never ever seen anyone else do it before. Have you ever heard of anyone else doing that?
No.
So I met Joe when I was 19. He was 21 at the time. And he lived near Chicago, so he always, when he visited here, he always had to drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours every time to hang out. And he eventually moved here. We got an apartment together after being together for 3 months, 2 months, 2 or 3 months, something like that. We got an apartment together. We knew right away that, you know, that's the one for me. We just knew that right away. On our, I think like second date, we went to Denny's, and during that dinner, he just blurted out, "Will you marry me?" And it was only our second date, so I was like, "No, I don't know you that well." And then another day, we were walking around the mall, and he took me into the jewelry store, and he's like, "Let's look at engagement rings." And it was all for fun, but he was like really serious. He told the weekend that he met me, after we hung out, he drove home with his sister up north of Chicago and told her, "That's the girl I'm gonna marry." He knew right away. Anyway, that's not how the proposal went though. We were together for 4 months, and he would secretly go to my dad's house, or he did secretly go to my dad's house, and he asked my dad, you know, the way a guy should, if he could marry his daughter. Old school, yeah. And I'm pretty sure my dad appreciated that a lot, and he gave him his blessing. And so what he did was, here's the funny thing. At that time, I was working at the Panagraph, which is our local newspaper, and somehow he was able to go in there without me knowing, and he went to the classifieds department, and he put an ad in the paper. And on our 4-month anniversary, he was just trying to be sweet, like, "Oh, it's our 4-month anniversary," and he brought me breakfast in bed. And I didn't think anything weird of it because he always was doing sweet things. And so he handed me my breakfast, and then he handed me the newspaper, which also was not weird because I worked at the newspaper. I would read the newspaper, and I was also looking for a full-time job at that time. So I went straight to like the classified section when I was eating, and I looked down and I saw a picture of a man and a woman, and I was like, "Oh my God, that looks like Joe." And then I did a double look, you know, and I was like, "That's a picture of us." He literally put a picture of me and him on our first date. It's an awful picture. And he put it in the newspaper, and below it, he wrote a really sweet message and said, "Tanya, will you marry me?" And it was so weird because in that moment, I was like, he made me one special paper. Like, this is cool. But no, I mean, it's the actual paper. Everybody in our area who gets the Panagraph, they all saw, everybody in the town saw it when I saw it. And of course I said yes. His plan was to take me later that day to a hotel up north to stay in for our anniversary. And he planned on giving me a ring at the hotel. A couple hours later, I was getting ready, doing makeup and things like that to go, and he couldn't wait any longer. He was too excited, so he comes down the hallway into the bathroom door and is like, gets down on one knee right there at the bathroom door with the ring. So it was really funny, but it was really cute. Also, I have the clipping. I forgot to say, I have the clipping of the newspaper, and I'm gonna put a picture of that here so you can see it and read it. It's kind of like, you know, it's old. It's 20 years old. So that is how he proposed to me. Later that day, after we got ready to go, we called my dad, told him I said yes and everything. I was all dressed up, and my dad came over to take a couple pictures of me and Joe since we had just got engaged. So we did like these little poses where he was down on one knee proposing and, you know, stuff like that. I looked for hours today in my house for that picture or anywhere on my Facebook or anything, and I cannot find it. I cannot find that picture anywhere. But I do want to show you some pictures of me and Joe through the years, so I'm going to put those in here too. What do you think of the way he proposed?
Well, I think it's funny. Like, okay, the first time, I think it was, like, good that you said no, because, like, I would have been scared and said yes, probably, if someone did that to me. But it's good that you said no. The second time, I think that's, like, super romantic. Like, I mean, he went through so much trouble.
He
just
put
to
a lot
propose.
of thought into it.
Like, and he kept it all secret from you.
Yeah.
While living with you.
That's weird. He can't keep a secret. I didn't ever see him go into the pantograph. He must have done it at a time that I wasn't working.
But if you weren't working and you weren't, because if you were home, then you would have probably been like, hey, where are you going?
Well, no, because he had a job, so he would leave at weird hours too.
And then he came home a little bit later or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He could have like he done it on his lunch break from work during the day. But yeah. So after that happened, it's like you can't wrap your mind around the fact that you didn't just see this paper, but everybody who gets the paper, they all saw it. And so like for the next year, like a year, everybody would recognize me from that picture in the paper and say, "Did you say yes?" You know. Then I can't remember how long after this was, but the Pantograph called us and said they wanted to do a story on us because that's how we proposed. Mm-hmm. And so they did. They came, they sent a reporter to our apartment, to our tiny, crappy little apartment, and was like, just do like your normal thing, you know, cook some dinner and ask you some questions and stuff. It was so bizarre and it was so uncomfortable. But the picture that he took of us that he used was like this weird one where we're standing in our tiny kitchen over the stove, and then one of us sitting on the couch with my cat AJ. It was bizarre, but he wrote a whole story about the proposal and all that.
If you would have said no, Dad would have been known as the man who got rejected.
Oh my God, could you imagine? That'd be crazy.
But like, that's so romantic. He moved 2 hours here for you and did all that. Also, I think he fell in love with you before he even met you, because of my dad. Like the picture, yeah, that he showed.
Yeah, so this is how we met. My dad and his girlfriend,
his wife.
Well, girlfriend at the time. Okay. How do I explain this? My dad was dating Joe's cousin.
Ew.
But my dad was dating her long before I met Joe and all this stuff. Like, my dad started dating her back when I was like 10 years old. But I had never heard of Joe, and he had never heard of me, because he lived like 2 hours north, and her family lived like 3 hours south of us. So, but there was this one time that my dad and his girlfriend went to like a wedding or a family reunion down there or something like that, and Joe was there. Joe was at that family reunion or wedding. For some reason, my dad got in a conversation with him and showed him a picture of me in high school, my like yearbook photo. And I guess Joe was just like in love at that moment. And he always tells me how weird it is, because he never liked brunettes. He never liked girls with glasses, and I wear glasses. I mean, I wear contacts, but I wear glasses a lot. And he didn't want a girl with like braces. I had braces at 19. So when he met me, he was just like, it's so weird, because I never wanted a girl like that. So when we met, I think it was you're shy at first, but it was an instant connection too. Like he came down to my dad's house to visit with his cousin, and they were hanging out, and that's how I met him. And it was his 21st birthday, so my dad and his girlfriend bought him a limo, or not bought, but rented a limo for the night, and went bar hopping. But I was only 19, so I was not allowed to go. But me and my friend, who were underage, were allowed to get in the limo with them and hang out, and it was just the craziest, most fun time ever. Obviously, I couldn't go in the bars, so they dropped me and my friend off at an underage club. And then, I don't know, it's a long story, but that's how we met. I remember one day a friend was at my apartment, and he asked Joe, what made you move down here? You moved down here for like work, for a job or something? And Joe's like, no, I moved down here for Tanya. And my friend was just like, ew, why? Like, I mean, he thought it was so dumb. And like, why would a guy do that? It was so rude. I'll never forget that.
I have a question. Do you think other couples should like do what you guys did or wait longer?
Oh, to get engaged?
Because you guys were really young and hadn't been dating for a long time, and y'all like settled down super fast, got married, had kids, like
Okay,
got
here's
engaged.
the thing though. We did move in together fast and get engaged fast, but we were engaged for a long time before we
Well,
got
yeah.
married. We were engaged from until we got married like 2 weeks after my 21st birthday. So we were engaged for over a year.
But I guess what I'm saying is like, do you think other, like even like me for example, do you think they should not like jump into it that fast, but do it young and stuff like that if it happens that way?
Well,
or should
I
they
think-
try to wait till like longer?
I think it depends on the couple, and it depends on your future plans. If one of the people is wanting to have this big career and do things that's going to take them away for hours and hours and hours at a time or something, like that would be really difficult to deal with at the beginning of a relationship. And or if you're wanting to go to college and you're going to be there for 8 years, and I don't know, it depends on the couple. I think it's good to wait. Obviously, it's you should not get married at like 18. My parents got married when they were 17.
How's that even legal?
I don't know. They got married when they were 17. My mom was pregnant. Not with me. That was the 70s. But so here's the picture again, one more time, of the ad that he put in the paper. I would add the article that they did on us, but I don't know where I put it. Sorry. Should I add anything else?
You need to get Dad's side of the story because clearly he has something to say about what you said.
He said he was yelling at the TV.
Oh.
I thought. Joe, were you yelling at the TV? Huh? Yes. Do you want to say anything about the proposal? You regret it?
Wait, so you really don't like brunettes with brown eyes, braces, and glasses? Yeah, but you were tan and tall and like model body.
Well, it was November, so it like I was.
Maybe you're still tan.
The day I met him. I was wearing big, wide-legged pants, like the elephant pants or Jingos or whatever, with a big, huge horn shirt. That the day I met him, that's what I was wearing. But then that night, when I got ready to go to the club, I changed into tight leather black pants and a black tank top that shows your skin a lot. That one that you wore, that one that comes down like this.
Oh, that one?
I wore that. Yeah, I flipped to a totally different person.
You should give me them pants.
I don't have those pants anymore.
You got rid of all the cute stuff that you
my
had.
Lord.
You should have said, oh, I'm going to have a teenage daughter that's going to want this stuff. Let me keep it for her.
It doesn't work that way.
It does work that way. But you guys are so romantic. What happened?
Part of our...
They're way out of the honeymoon phase now. They're in the old married couple phase.
Listen, we have our ways of communicating. Like, yeah, we tease each other, or I don't know. He's a sarcastic person.
Yeah, but there's no more big, grand, romantic gestures. Except last weekend.
Yeah, he took me to a hotel for a night. But listen, the kids see what they see, but they don't see everything, so.
Mom doesn't do romantic gestures.
Joe's the more romantic one in the relationship.
Well, don't you guys ever get, like, bored of your relationship? Well, like, relationships get boring. Like, I would think after 20 years you get bored of each other.
Not if you love them.
Y'all just gotta change it up sometimes. Do some different things together.
I don't know.
I need to fall in love. I haven't met my match yet. And I don't think
He's
I
out
ever
there.
will.
He's out there and you'll meet him.
Hopefully. And hopefully he'll be romantic. I don't think Dad will give anyone his blessing, though.
Probably not.
I already did, Tanner.
No!
Oh, yeah. Tanner, if you're watching.
Stop! We're not dating!
You don't have to date to get
my God.
married.
I would love it if they dated.
Are you gonna leave that in? Oh my god. Tanner, for some reason, they ship us.
Yeah. This is one of my new shirts that I got that I ordered online. I turned into a big Arrow and Flash fan. Pretty obsessed with it right now. I thought this shirt was so cool. So
She's never been a superhero person until like
Yes, I
2
have.
weeks ago.
Yeah, I was all into DC stuff as a
No.
kid.
Okay, yeah, as a kid,
Supergirl
but
and
you,
Superman.
but like you would not watch superhero movies with us, or like you would, and you would be like, oh, it's kind of boring.
So, some of them are really boring.
Well, you just don't like action stuff like that.
No, I like the Avengers and stuff. I hate Captain America. It's so boring. Like certain.
But we don't even watch Captain America.
Yeah,
Like,
your dad always wants to watch it.
he's
Anyway,
just like a military dude, an old 60-year-old with a shield.
all right. So that is the story of how we got engaged. If you like this video, leave me a like, leave me a comment about what you think of how he proposed to me. Let me know if you've ever heard of anyone doing that. It's unique. Like, he thought of like the coolest idea, and I absolutely love it. But yeah,
Leave a comment down below if you want them to do a relationship questions video together. I can get some like relationship questions
he
or something.
will just be sarcastic and answer.
Okay, but that would be so entertaining.
We'll
If
just-
y'all answered truthfully too.
he
that would be
won't though.
entertaining.
He won't, and we'll argue.
They argue over everything. They always have two different like stories of what happened of everything. Like the thing that sticks out in my mind is the No Doubt CD. That's mine. No, that's mine. No, that was mine. Well, why is it in your car?
I don't bring
Blah,
that
blah,
up,
blah, blah.
but he brings that up. And anyway, we're married, so it's ours. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just funny. Y'all have two. It would just be a really funny video. So comment down below if you want to see that. I'll convince them to do it.
I don't have a problem doing it.
Okay,
but
well we'll convince
my
him to
husband
do
never
it.
wants to get on camera ever. I wish he would though, because
Y'all like seeing him.
Yes, write down in the comments if you enjoy seeing my husband on my videos. He's so funny. All right, well that'll be it for today. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and we will see you next time.
Bye, poopies.
It is crooked.
You're crooked. I always make that joke not even thinking about how you're actually crooked.
Yeah.
I just like call people things, you know, how we
Yeah.
always do, like, oh, you're...
Those are for breakfast.
But I'm
a
actually
butthole.
crooked, so. There's cinnamon butter rolls in there too, right?
Those are Gucci.
Gucci.
Can I have an ice cream cone?
I can't do this.
I can't Jesus? Is
I
that what you said?
can't do this. I think I got the giggles.
Stop! You're making me have to poop. I have to poop now.